What is up, guys? It's your boy and the Matrix. I'm back in another video. Today I wanted to explain why maintaining physical games or keeping it traditional, keeping physical games alive is becoming harder and harder. Because as much as I like to attack Nintendo, I think there was a reason why they decided to do the game key cards for certain games, right? For I think for mostly AAA games, not all games. But for certain games, they wanted to do the game key cards. Now, I'm not defending Nintendo in any way. Please don't get me wrong. I still Nintendo is a piece of shit for that.
Hello, this is Yami Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And make sure to subscribe to Andy Matrix's channel. Now on with the show.
But as I was doing some research, I started thinking, wait, as games become more graphically advanced, as games have more and more gigabytes, it's gonna be harder to maintain physical games. Let me explain. I'm here at Google and I typed in a search, how many gigs can a Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge hold, right? And Google gave me the answer with the AI overview. It says Nintendo Switch cartridge is 64 gigabytes maximum. Maximum 64 gigabytes. Now, I want you to keep in mind that the average AAA game like Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16, Cyberpunk 2077, the big games. The big games, those have a lot of gigabytes. 100 gigabytes, 120 gigabytes, 150 gigabytes. It's a lot. These are big games. A lot of data. How are you going to fit a game that huge into a console, a weak little mini bitty console like the Switch that only holds that has a cartridge that holds as much as 64 gigabytes? And then I said, okay, wait a minute. There's the Blu-ray, but how much does the Blu-ray disc hold? So I went ahead and went on to Google and I asked how many gigs can a Blu-ray hold. It says a Blu-ray disc can hold between 25 to 128 gigabytes of data, depending on the type and number of layers. I had no idea that the Blu-ray disc had layers to them. I didn't understand the science behind Blu-ray. So I said, okay, let me look deeper. And it says here, depending on the layer. So a single layer can hold 25 gigabytes, or I think 35 gigabytes. A dual layer can hold 50. Triple layer can hold 100. And then a quadruple layer hold 128 gigabytes. Okay. Okay, problem solved, right? Problem solved. These gaming companies, right? Sony, PlayStation, Xbox, all they gotta do is to put their games in quadruple layer Blu-ray disc. We can maintain physical games so long as they do that, right? Okay, great. So then I started to look at Amazon and see what these 4-layer Blu-ray discs look like. Okay, so I went on to Amazon, and here it is. $239. $239. Yep. Yep. So it says digital 4 times 128 gigabyte Blu-ray disc XL quad layer, meaning 4 layers, right? So it holds the 120 plus gigabytes. It gives you 25 for 25 disc, $239. Now, also remember, if you ever got in those stack of empty disc, empty CDs, those used to cost like I think less than $10 for like a stack of those, less than $10, and you used to get like 700 megabytes, and people used to use them to download music, right? Back in the days, back in the 2000s, you buy a stack of those, go on LimeWire, download your music onto that. Those were the days. Those were the days. Right? And here it even shows you a picture of how the Blu-ray works. So first layer 32 gigs, second layer 32, that's 60 gigs, third layer, fourth layer. So yeah, so I said, okay, well, why don't Sony and Nintendo just put their games onto that? $239. We would be paying money out the a-hole. We would pay money like crazy just to play one game. Because the Blu-ray disc, at least these types of Blu-ray discs, they're really expensive. Really expensive. Keep in mind that I think, what was it? In the PlayStation 3, the most gigabytes a game would have, I think it was like 20 gigabytes back then. At most, I think it has like 10, 20 gigabytes, if I remember correctly. Then when we get to the PlayStation 4, now we're reaching 50 gigabytes, 60 gigabytes game, right? PlayStation 5, 100 gigabytes. 100 gigabytes per game. I think what was it? The Spider-Man game on PS5 was like 130 gigabytes. It's a lot. So it wouldn't even fit on this disc. It would not even fit here. Keep that in mind. Oh, wait, don't forget the DLC. Right? Don't forget the DLC. Right? Because if you played the DLC, then you also got to download more. Got to download more data. So that's going to be like an extra 5, 10 gigabytes. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So now I'm thinking, because I'm sure Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo, they're not crazy enough to sell us a game that's $200+. And to make a profit off of that, they're going to have to, set it up to like $300. How are we going to preserve games? How are we going to maintain physical games? This is what people don't think about. Look at this. Look at this. $239. How can you maintain? How can you keep going with physical games? The best way to maintain it is just to go digital, because you can. I mean, I have a storage of 4,000 gigabytes. Yeah, 3,000, 4,000 gigabytes of storage, a hard drive. Right, so I can download like what, 30 games in there. I can download a whole bunch of games here with 3,000 gigabytes, right? 3-4 terabytes. But with a disc, with today's the size of a game today, like I said, the Spider-Man 130 gigabytes, it's impossible. Plus the DLCs. You have to go digital. And again, I'm not defending gaming companies. I'm just being logical here. I'm being logical. The best way to sell to gamers now is just to go digital, because there's just too much data. It's just way, 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 way too much data. Hey guys, really quick. If you want to support this channel, please go ahead and click in the link in the description below. The link is going to take you to Amazon, where you can do your online shopping. And when you shop through Amazon through this link, this channel gets a commission, which helps me, continue doing what I'm doing. And I thank you so much for, for your support. So go ahead and click the link and shop at Amazon, and that's going to be it. Like, for real. But I mean, it's also no excuse. Don't get me wrong. This is not an excuse for companies to tell you, hey, you can buy the digital version, but you can't own it. That's not an excuse either. I mean, they're just, they're just trying to be tricky with that. But seriously, I think this is why, as games become bigger and bigger and more realistic, I think that's what they're trying to keep it digital. Right? So the only types of games that can go on this Blu-ray disc of 4 layers is gonna be something, games that are less than 100 gigabytes, 60 gigabytes, 80 gigabytes. Anything beyond that, you can't preserve it. It has to go digital. It just has to go digital. But then again, don't forget. I mean, I feel like I'm speaking doom and gloom here, but there's a lot of games, a lot of good games that are less than 100 gigabytes. I mean, I think Clear Obscure Expedition 33, I think that was a 50, 60 gigabyte game, if I'm not mistaken. So it's doable. It is very, very, very doable. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there to your imagination as to what you guys want to think about this. You know, I had no idea that these Blu-rays actually existed. First, second, third layer. Because honestly, I've been digital since the pandemic. I have not bought any disc. I mean, I bought the Final Fantasy 16 game, but I mean, I returned that shit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So, alright guys, this is your boy Andy Matrix. Make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed.